I'm Sue Strano. I'm the librarian here, and I've been here for 6 years.
And I'm Suzanne Nesbitt. I'm a librarian, and I'm a consultant at the school board.
We did have a lot of weeding, and Suzanne helped me. We spent, 6 weeks?
6 weeks,
6 weeks weeding. It helped us create more space. I got rid of a few shelving units, which gave us the space for the smart board. And it just makes the library look cleaner. The books are cleaner. It's easier for the kids to choose books. It's not as cluttered.
It was really a war here in the library. You know, everything, there was all sorts of places to hide. The bookcases were just cut the line of vision. It really wasn't inviting. So that was part of the reason for the weeding and the reconfiguring of the bookshelves at that point. And it's a long-term project for Susan.
Oh, it is. I'm still weeding. It started with the shelvings, and it gave us so much space here that we figured we should have little nooks around the library so the students are comfortable, so classes could come in and use the space. And we also can have 2 or 3 classes at once. Because the smart board's at the other end, we can have a class doing presentations, we could have another class doing working on the computers, we can have classes taking out books, and all at once.
Well, I think it's a 6-year project. Susan has been thinking about this all along. But the renovations per se, the major ones, the palettes, that was last year, and maybe you can talk about.
I think the major ones, it was done maybe in a month or 2. Yes. It was a quick project. The biggest part of it was emptying the shelves.
And Susan had really reflected on the whole process and on what she wanted in the library. She had been thinking about it for a long time, and she knew her community. She knew what the needs of the teachers were, what the needs of the students were. So she was able to work within that very, very tight and short time span because it was so much part of her planning. You know, she's always thinking about ways of improving.
That's right. And I think the biggest challenge was the size of this library. I wanted it to look more comfy. So that's why we have the nooks and all that, just to make it more comfortable for the staff and the students. I don't think so, because the population is also changing and they'll want different things. And for now, this year I'd like to do some signage. Actually, board games was my idea, because we're always seeing the kids on their iPads, iPhones. They're never communicating. So I thought maybe board games would get them face to face and they would communicate. And as soon as I brought in the chess and the checkers, they gravitate to it. And so I figured I'll buy some more board games and see if that would work, and it's working very well. I think the students really needed cozy sitting areas, because we had one sofa in the past and they would rush in and whoever got there first, and sometimes there'd be 6 kids on that little sofa. So I figured that would be a good idea to get them nice seating areas, nice cozy areas. And so I find that really helped bring them in. Okay, first of all, the furniture, we wanted to go eco-friendly and low cost. So that's how we got the pallets. Use the pallets for that. We had bought the bean bags first, and they were so multicolored that I had to find a color that would go with all these colors, so we went with black. I figured that would work with everything. That's how we chose the colors. The iPad bar is the same idea, plus we often have classes here, and we have 30 computers in all, including the iPads, so that helped with larger classes. Cafe tables was, I thought it would look cozy. Of course, the first time they came in, they all asked me for cappuccinos, which didn't happen, but we came up with this portable stage. The teachers from Woodtech created it, and it's on wheels, and we just bring it out when we need it, put it back when we're finished. We also have curtains that we draw the curtains when there's a play going on or some kind of musical event. And it works very well. It's like a small theater.
And a lot more intimate, finally, than the auditorium.
That's right, than the auditorium.
So, and it's all part of the whole idea of having a space that can be easily reconfigured. That was the main thing.
And being a learning common space, we wanted to have different activities here. We do have a green screen. Students, mostly students use it, and they used to do the news on the green screen, talk about news from Riverdale News, and now they use it for different reasons, but it's popular. I separated the books, the fiction books, by genre. So we'll have romantic fiction, historical fiction, fantasy. Now they're all together, and it makes it easier for the students to pick a genre that they like and pick a book because they just go to that section. I find that's really helped, and I was hoping to do it with the nonfiction also, like putting a sports together, art together, and not following the Dewey system.
Yeah. I think it was interesting too that the students worked on the covering the tables, refinishing the tables. Susan had some old furniture that she wanted to have revamped, so students did collages, they did painting. Not an expensive way of doing, of altering things that you already have.
And it's nice that the students wanted to get involved. Like they wanted something that'll stay here that they did. I thought that they found that very important. It's the same with the book art. They wanted it to be in the library because they know it's for them. It's their library, so they are taking care of the things.
So they have a true sense of ownership in this library.
And I keep telling them, this is your library. Take care of it. Okay. I think the seating area is very important. You want them to communicate together and have a comfortable place to come to. And for instance, now it was always a busy library, but this year it's even busier because now it's the cool library. So they're, because of the bean bags, I think, and the different seating areas. So I think that's important. The iPad bar is really popular. I would recommend the iPad bars also.
And I think it's know your community.
That's right.
And think about it and do it in small steps. And remember that high tech and low tech are good. It's not all about technology. It's about simple things like board games, about making the books more accessible to students by simplifying the way they're offered to the school population, and being able to turn around. If it doesn't work, so I try.
Try something else.
For
instance, the bean bags, I was worried about them. Say, how are the kids going to use these bean bags? But when I see a student cuddled there with a book, it's perfect. I love it.